Hey guys, a few days ago I made this wonderful slow-cooked 4-hour pot roast, and it was delicious. But now we have some leftovers. This is the leftover pot roast from a few days ago, without gravy, just the meat. And we're gonna turn this sad-looking container of meat into something you would pay for at a restaurant. I know, hard to believe. You'll see. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this meat and I'm gonna put it in the food processor. Just like this, do it in batches if you need to. And you're going to end up with meat just like this. Now, if you squeeze this together, it sticks together because there's still a lot of moisture in this meat. But I want to grind it up because I want to make small, even pieces of meat that are going to get mixed thoroughly with peppers and onions and deliciousness because we're going to make a filling with this meat. Then you're going to need red pepper, green pepper, onion, and garlic. Now, depending on the amount of meat that you have, I have about 4 cups of meat left over. So for this quantity of meat, and if you look, I'm pressing that together. Look how much moisture there still is in there. But I'm not going to cook this meat again. But I have 4 cups of meat in this bowl. And I have 4 cloves of garlic that I just minced up. And I'm going to use half the green pepper, half the red pepper, and 1 large onion. So the first thing you want to do is just chop up your peppers nice and diced, however big you like it. I like it nice and small because I want the pieces of pepper to be somewhat even with the bites of meat, and I want it distributed throughout the filling nice and even. So I'm going to chop this up really fine, and then I'm going to do the same with the onion. The onion I leave a little bigger because I like a nice little bite of caramelized onion. So I'm going to chop up the onion. Again, this is going to be a dice. Now, I said 1 large onion. This was a massive softball onion, so I'm doing half. But if you have regular large onions, then you would use the entire onion. So you're going to use the amount of peppers and onions that you would like in your filling. For this, this might seem like a lot of onion for this amount of meat, but this onion is going to give it tons of flavor, tons of moisture, tons of deliciousness. And I have a hot pan here with a tablespoon of olive oil. And you are just going to saute these peppers and onions. You want them to get soft. You want them to get caramelized. This is going to give your filling amazing flavor. It really is going to turn that leftover bottom round roast into something extremely delicious. So you're going to start the flame off at high and you're going to move it around a bit, get it nice and coated in the olive oil, and that's it.
I'm just going to let this cook down, soften up, caramelize a little bit.
I'm going to let these cook for about 10 to 15 minutes.
I'm not going to do salt and pepper, but I'm going to use some of this all-purpose seasoning. And this has salt, pepper, garlic, oregano, thyme, not thyme, turmeric. And it just really gives things a lot of flavor. So I'm going to use this instead of salt, pepper. And then I'll put some fresh minced garlic.
Okay, so these are nice and soft. They're starting to get a little color to them. So now I'm going to add the minced garlic, and I'm just going to let this cook a little bit longer just to get the garlic fragrant, but I don't want to get the garlic burned or crispy or anything like that. So it's just going to be about a minute. And then you're going to turn off the heat, give your vegetables a stir, put the cooked meat in there, and the flame is turned off because you are not cooking this. You are simply combining all the ingredients to make your filling. Make sure it's nice and even.
Okay, so I have my beef filling. I took it out of the pan and put it in a bowl because I am going to start assembling my empanadas now. But I got a baking sheet ready, and I put a piece of parchment paper that I brushed with a little bit of olive oil so the empanadas don't stick. And I've made empanadas for you guys before, but if you haven't seen that video, these empanada wrappers come with a piece of plastic between each one. So if you remove one with plastic on both sides, then you don't need flour because you can roll it out a little bit, just like that. And then all you have to do is peel the plastic away, just like that. And your empanada wrapper is nice and thin. So I'm going to get about 2 tablespoons of filling, and I'm going to put it right there in the empanada. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me move over. All right, so we got about 2 tablespoons of filling. And we are going to roll this up, fold it over. We're going to pinch the corners to make sure that filling doesn't ooze out. And then we're going to take a fork and just pinch them together just like that. And that's why you want to roll your empanada wrappers a little bit, because then you could fit more filling inside.
Now, the fact that you're making empanadas alone in itself is amazing. So if you do not feel like taking the extra step of rolling them out, you don't have to. So these 4 right here, I am showing you that you could do it without rolling them out. You just can't put as much filling, but it's an easier way to do it. Because empanadas, while they're super easy to make, they do take a little bit of time because you have to assemble each one. So if you want to skip the step of rolling it out, by all means, skip the step because you're fabulous for making empanadas already. And you're going to fit maybe about a tablespoon and a half of filling. I always overstuff because the dough is very pliable. It stretches very easy. So I still do a tablespoon and a half, even if I do not roll out the empanadas. And now that I did these 4 to show you, I actually ended up not rolling out any of the other empanadas. And I knew that I would have plenty of filling anyway. And one thing about these empanada wrappers, if you haven't seen my other video, these come frozen and there's a variety of kinds. You have the puff pastry kind, you have the regular bread dough kind, you have the kind that you fry the empanadas after you assemble them. These are the baking kind. You bake these in the oven, and I think they're the puff pastry kind that you bake in the oven, and they are fabulous. And I always take them out, put them on the counter from the freezer, and after a few hours, they've already started to defrost. And so you can just let them sit on the counter while you make your filling and then just start filling. It says on the package to put in the fridge overnight to defrost. I personally never ever do that. I just put them on the counter, let them sit for a few hours while I'm making the filling and getting everything ready. And I just start working with them. So you can do it how you like. And the other thing is, it says to bake for 18-20. I always do 25-30 minutes because I like them super golden brown. And now you're going to give them a nice brush with egg wash. This is just an egg with a drop of milk. That's it. You could just do egg by itself. You don't even have to do milk. And I'm just going to brush them generously with egg wash because it's going to help them get nice and beautifully brown. And I always say, if you're going to make empanadas, make extra because guaranteed everyone's going to love them. And you can even take these room temperature right out of the fridge, put them in a lunchbox and eat them at lunch. My daughter loves it when I make empanadas because she takes them in her lunchbox the day after. So now you're going to cook these in the oven at 375 for a minimum of 18 minutes.
Look at that. They look delicious. Okay, so these just came out of the oven. I'm going to transfer them to this tray, and then I'm going to take these empanadas and I'm going to put them back on the tray and bake them for 25 minutes. Look at that. Yummy food all around. Today's a cold, rainy day. Perfect day to be making yummy food.
These are coming off so easy.
And because you used parchment paper and you greased it, these are coming off super easy. See that? They come right off. Just want to get them off for now, and then I'll arrange them nice when they cool down a little bit. But I'm just going to spritz this with a little olive oil on, and I don't want these to stick. So I spritz that with a little olive oil. And I'm going to put the rest of my empanadas on there. And I'm going to brush them with some egg wash. And that's it. 24 empanadas made just like that.
If you want to make 2 dozen empanadas and you don't have enough leftover meat and you don't want to buy meat, say you have a cup of meat, you can bulk it up with some leftover mashed potato, you can add some frozen peas to it, you can make your filling whatever you like. And now I'm going to go a step further and I'm going to make a yummy dipping sauce for these. So I have about a 1/4 cup of fat-free Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt. I thought I had more, but that's okay. This is going to be plenty. We're going to make it work. I'm scraping out every little bit of yogurt that I can. So I have about 1/2 cup of Greek yogurt. I'm going to put 3 cloves of raw garlic in there. I'm going to put a whole entire bunch of fresh cilantro that I took the stems off, washed. I'm going to do the juice of 1/2 lime, assuming it's a juicy lime. If not, do the whole lime. And just like that. And then I'm going to put some olive oil. You want about maybe a 1/4 cup of olive oil, maybe a little less, 3 tablespoons. A splash of apple cider vinegar to give it this pop, bright, zing flavor when you dip that warm, buttery empanada. Some salt, and you could do fresh cracked black pepper if you want. And that's it. Let it whirl. You want to get everything combined nice and smooth because you want a creamy, yummy dipping sauce for your empanadas. And look at that. Yum. How beautiful is that yogurt sauce? Super beautiful. And you're going to dip your empanada in there and it's going to be so good. Look at this. Wonderful, healthy, yogurt creamy dipping sauce.
Now, this can be a dinner in itself, a nice big tray of empanadas with a big side salad or rice and beans or corn on the cob, French fries. This can be served with so many things, and that could be your dinner in itself. Or if you're going to someone's house and you want to take something, I mean, what would be more delicious than walking in with a big tray of empanadas with some cilantro, lime, yogurt, garlic dipping sauce? Yum! Let me show you what they look like. You got the nice, flaky outside, super good. And they're super, super tender. Look at that. Yummy filling with beef, peppers, onions. So good. Now, let's give these a taste. That filling, these are so good. And if you told anybody these were made from leftover pot roast or bottom round roast, they wouldn't believe you because it tastes totally different. It's not dried out. It's delicious. Delicious. Now let's try it with some of this cilantro lime sauce, cilantro garlic lime yogurt sauce. Look at that. Let's give this a bite. That is so good. You taste the garlic, the cilantro, the lime, it's tangy. That is so good. Honestly, guys, who would have thought? I'm telling you, use your leftovers to make different things because you can eat something different every night. And sometimes you're using leftovers from one meal 2 and 3 times. But you're always eating something new, something different, and definitely something delicious.
And that, my friends, is how I turned leftover bottom round roast into something fabulous. Get creative in your kitchen, try something different, challenge yourself to use your leftovers. Not only will you be surprised, but your wallet will thank you too. No food waste, saving money, making delicious food, having fun in the kitchen. Why not give it a try and turn something drab into something fab? Thanks for watching. Bye.